Hello and welcome to another Nordic Takedown podcast YouTube video and another one of these. Now it's a store showdown rundown, but this tournament round for me it's been 3 of the 6 weeks now with the tournament weekends that I've been to. So I brought Han Solo again to the Manatorsk store showdown. 3 of 3 so far. I know I've been promising some diversity on these tournaments, but so far I've failed to deliver on that part. But still got 4 tournaments left, 2 showdowns and 2 what's it called, PQs coming up. And now I think I will actually try something new, new or old depends, but it's not going to be Han Yellow for every of these events. We'll see if I play him again at all. But here at Manatorsk Store Showdown event, it was amazing, as usual, to be in that environment, the local. Since the showdowns are a casual event, they made it casual. They made a generous top cut, so we played 4 rounds of Swiss and a top 8. Which most people don't, but I like when it's a top cut in the showdowns. I think that even if you are almost 32 people, I think it's better to play 4 rounds of Swiss and a top 4, something like that. Or if you're close to, you actually get a real final, which is really nice. So I hope people or stores do this more often. So this was my run. I ended up winning the event. I am not gonna go through my deck again. I showed the deck in the last video. It's quite similar to that. So I'm not gonna make too many comments about that. You see the cool Cad Bane here to the right with the opposite side, showing my technical skills as well. But so I started off the tournament versus Emperor Palpatine, yellow, 1-1. Won game 1, fairly convincing. Game 2, got scanning officer twice, but I still clawed back and I saw my window quite clear. But time was running out, and we were playing pretty slow, and I was playing a little bit not slow, but I didn't really care about the time because it was also a generous top cut. I was not afraid of missing out, either or. So I wanted to play out the game because it was a difficult game to see can I squeeze this. In the end, I actually faltered and it was 1-1, and we had 50 seconds left, so we didn't start next game. We just took the draw. I should probably, if it was more competitive, after I got scanning officer for the second time, I should just have surrendered it and go for game 3, because then I have a lot of time to win that game, and I am favored in the matchup. So that was a bit of a mistake for me. I was a little bit slow, and I wasn't in my competitive mindset yet. So ended up after the first round of Swiss was down at the bottom, as you do with a draw. Drawn against the Chancellor Palpatine instead. I have the Darth Sidious flip there as well instead. If anyone don't know, Chancellor Palpatine and Darth Sidious, they flip sides. There is no leader coming out on the board. With a green base. The games were kind of interesting. One of them was interesting. It is fairly easy to DJ in this matchup if I want to, and I can get if I get good look in his hand with Spark and Kira and stuff. There is I can fairly easily, it's not super easy, make him get stuck on a side, which is really really rough. And when he gets stuck, he will basically lose the match. So that is a bit what happened. In round 3, I got to face Quinlan Tarketown. It was actually Jason from the Nordic Takedown. We played. I think it's a very good matchup for Han Yellow. That's my experience. It ended up 2-0. In round 4, I got to play Boss Green against Jonathan. That I play almost every tournament I enter when we are in, we dodge each other in Göteborg, I guess. Otherwise, we just keep facing up. And this time it was a 2-0. It was game 2 was really, really close because he got to timely intervention with a walker. But in the end, it was 2-0. Then into the top 8, got to play my brother, Andrea, who had brought Cad Bane Tarkin Town, which did not enter into like the best field, to be honest, today. There was not that much aggro. He had like 2 good matchups. It was Anakin Blue and Sabine. Unfortunately, he lost to the Anakin Blue 1-2 and did not get to face Sabine for his sake. Cad Bane Tarkin Town is also really, really, really rough for him to face Han Yellow. They have the same issue as Anakin Blue and the Rey, that their leader flips on 6, so they have to like totally mega massive respect the DJ, and sometimes they just don't have a solution. Anakin Blue has way more solutions to it than Cad, but yeah, so that was a 2-0. Then into the top 4, I got Sabine ECL, which is like, it's a tricky matchup in some ways, but my opponent had not played the matchup that much, Sabine versus Han Yellow, which meant that I had an edge, obviously there. He played it fairly well though, so no like weird misplays or something like that. But it's a tough matchup to pilot, especially if you don't really know how to play it. Cunning was huge. I drew very well as well, so I think I got cunning in both games, for example, and like a solid start. Then I went into Boss Green again. Jonathan had taken his way through the top 8 and top 4 and come back to face me in the final. And that ended up 2-0 again. And like I had some sideboarding stuff for the matchup. Not sure if it was that was the most important thing. Just kept attacking his hand, made sure he was not able to claim bounties and stuff like that. I had let him in the Swiss round double claim, I think, a death mark. That was really rough for me to know that he always had good options. But otherwise than that, it was pretty okay. Game 2 here was also like really, really close for him to stabilize. He got to timely intervention twice with Walker, which meant like that alone is 12 heal. But he had not put that much damage to my base, so I could always like put out a new threat that he needed to deal with immediately. Otherwise, I would claim and win. So he never really got to do damage to my base, which meant that like, as long as I could present new threats, he couldn't like deal with it. All these, not all these matches, but the event was streamed on the Nordic Takedown podcast channel. So if you want to see some of the matches, you can go watch it there. I played 2 of my games on stream. It was the top 8 and the final. I was not on the top tables since I drew my round 1 game. So none of the other games there you can will be seen on stream. I think Chancellor Palpatine played game 1 on stream though. So yeah, so that's basically that's how my run was. So I only lost 1 game, basically not a series, but a game there against the Emperor Palpatine in round 1. Otherwise it was 2-0 all the way. Played pretty clean overall. So the top 4 ended up being Han Yellow, Boss Green, Anakin Blue, and Sabine ECL. Like fairly meta, what would you say? Yeah, like some top decks in the meta, basically, was what happened there. There was no standouts, basically. None of these cool decks made it into the top 4. King of Swiss again was actually Anakin Skywalker. I will say again because Jonah did it in the PQ in Copenhagen. Went to the final and lost there against Boss Green. This time it was 4-0 in Swiss, and he managed to win like against Item Blue in the top 8, and then 2-0 loss to Boss Green in the semifinals. So we can see that Anakin Skywalker blue base here, the Nordic Takedown version, has been doing. It's a pretty good Swiss deck to play, it seems like. But in the top cut, there are usually very strong decks, and like especially Boss Green, we can see late, is a very tough matchup for the deck. So we'll see if that is something to continue. But it's good to see that Anakin keeps performing, even though he's maybe not as strong, like as when I did my tier list, when I put him on like the top 5 leaders. I guess he's still a top 5 leader, but he's not as close to the Hans. Like when this PQ season started, I thought maybe it would be a little bit close, but everyone thought it would be more closer than Han just running away with it. So that's not strange. But we'll see what happens with Anakin, and like it's the Nordic Takedown version with some tweaks. So we'll see like if someone finally finds the right tweaks to make this more well balanced. I think Anakin Blue was always very good into control, and control is not really being played that much at this stage. But if that somehow starts coming back, maybe Anakin will get more success. So two last things here, just about my deck. I mentioned that I had Confiscate the last tournament. Didn't get to try it against any Bosks. I only got to try it once. I sideboarded in, of course, in both the matches, but in game 2 I got to use it. And in the final, which I guess that final game started becoming close, which means that it was like it had some good impact. So I think Confiscate is a pretty good card in the meta. It's good against Darksaber, it's good against the bounties. Boss Blue got 2 wins this weekend in the PQs, and it's definitely good there. Hard to know if in the red decks it's better to like play a Fang Fighter than Confiscate. That's debatable, but like Confiscate is definitely has a place in the meta, and I think you need to have some upgrade hate in your sideboard or main deck. It's also pretty good like against these Anakin decks that just go like Lightsaber Bravado. Outstock Liberator Gunship. I think that's a bait card to have in your Han Yellow. Like some people say it's very good against Django. That's just not true. Like yes, you can get a 2-for-1 trade if they've already put down the Tarkin Town. If they've played the 3/2s and not the shielded unit and not the 3/2 that pings one as well. So, and playing it for 4, sure you can play it on the turn 3, but like this card has not been good for me at all against Django. It's been better against Sabine, but Sabine is already like a slight favorable matchup, and I think there's other cards that perform even better against Sabine, like maybe Ezra. So I think maybe Aztec Liberator Gunship is like a bait card to even have in your deck. That's one of my takeaways from that lately. So I we'll see if that one will stick in the sideboard or not. Otherwise, that was basically the tournament. Finally a win. Now I played Han 3 times. At least got 1 win. And we'll see here what I bring to the next 2 coming events in Lund and Växjö. Yeah, that's right. That's the 2. So look forward to 2 tournament reports next week, hopefully. And catch you then. And may the force be with you.